Make sure that when you come to seated position, that you can feel your bony parts of the bottom, your sitting bones on the floor. If you feel like you're rocking back onto your tailbone, then you're gonna need to grab your towel or something to sit on so that you can elevate the hips and you can feel like you're sitting on the bony parts of your bottom. So I'm just gonna take a moment here. I'm just gonna mute everyone for the duration of our practice. And I'm gonna turn this just a little bit up. Okay, and just let me know if the music is too loud. So if it, if you can't hear me over the music, just creep over and then just text me really quick on the chat. All right, so we're gonna start out with what I call even breath. And with our Ujjayi breath, so with Ujjayi breath, you're going to create a little bit of resistance at the base of the throat. And we're going to work on making our inhales and our exhales the same length. So a couple of principles behind breathing practice. First principle is that you always want to feel like you're sitting on the bony parts of your hips. That's going to help to bring your spine into neutral position. The second principle is that you want your chest and your shoulders to be really relaxed. So if you feel like there's tension in the neck or in the head, find the spot where your head feels completely weightless. The third principle is that you never want to feel like you're straining. So I'm going to be giving you cues, but if you feel like you need to breathe faster or slower, please go ahead and do so. So don't feel like you have to stay with my cues, okay? So we're going to start out with even breath. And if you like, you can add a mudra, which is a hand posture. And you're just going to make the okay sign. And this is a mudra that you see a lot of yogis, maybe in pictures and different paintings. They're holding this mudra. And this mudra is called Jnana Mudra. And the word jnana is the Sanskrit word for knowledge. So it is, the word knowledge means the ability to see clearly and the ability to see reality as it is. So go ahead and find your Jnana Mudra. Find the two sitting bones on the floor, and then find the nice relaxed shoulders. And go ahead and let all the air out. And then just taking your Ujjayi breath now. So without worrying too much about the length of the breath, create a little bit of resistance at the base of the throat. And just beginning to breathe in and out. Using Ujjayi breath. See if you can keep your shoulders relaxed, the jaw unclenched. And then on your next inhale, count how many beats it takes for you to complete one inhale. And allow the exhale to be the same length. So with Ujjayi breath, both inhale and the exhale are the same length. As you continue to breathe, the shoulders relaxed. Jaw is unclenched. Face is relaxed. On your next inhale, extend the length of the breath by 1 beat. Both the inhale and the exhale continue to be the same length. Allow the breath to stretch without straining. On your next inhale, increase the length by 1 beat. Shoulders stay relaxed. Jaw is unclenched. Face is soft. Last round. And then on your next inhale, release your mudra and just breathe naturally here a couple of breaths. On your inhale, opening your eyes, stretch out your legs. We're going to recross the legs the opposite way. So shake out your legs a little bit. Circle the feet around. And then recross the opposite shin bone in the front. Okay. So now we're going to do 3-part breath. And depending on what you need at this moment, you're going to take one of 2 options. The first option is if you're currently feeling anxious or stressed, then you're going to take 1 complete inhale all the way down to your pelvic floor. And then you're going to break up the exhale into 3 parts. So exhale 1/3 to belly, 2/3 to chest, and the remainder of the way out. After you completely exhale, you have the option to stay empty for as long as you feel comfortable. So again, you're going to take one complete inhale from the top of the head all the way down to pelvic floor, and then exhale 1/3 to belly, 2/3 to chest, and the remainder of the way out. So you'll have to remember how to do this. I won't be able to cue both versions at the same time. In addition to the breath, you can take a mudra for this calming breath, and you can take Prithvi mudra, which is thumb to the ring finger and extending the other 3 fingers. So Prithvi mudra, the word Prithvi means earth, and earth has a heavy grounding effect, and so that helps, to give us the sensation of stability and grounding if we're feeling anxious or stressed. The second option is energizing breath. So if you're feeling low energy or depressed, then you can take this version. And for this one, you're going to break down the inhale. So on the inhale, you're going to inhale 1/3 to chest, 2/3 to belly, all the way down. After you fill up the lungs, you have the option to stay full. This gives you a little bit more of that energizing sensation. And then exhaling in one complete breath. And again, you're going to inhale 1/3 to chest, 2/3 to belly, all the way down, option to stay full, and then exhale in one complete breath. So the mudra that goes with this breathing practice is called Pran mudra. You're going to connect your thumb to the ring finger and pinky finger, extend your other 2 fingers at the peace sign, and put your 2 peace sign fingers together. So the word pran comes from the word prana, and the word prana means life force in Sanskrit. So you're going to stay in pran mudra, keeping the palms up, if you're going to take the second energizing breath. So take whichever mudra goes with your breath. And again, make sure you're sitting on the sitting bone, shoulders relaxed. Let all the air out. And then begin. Two more rounds. On your next inhale, release the mudra and just breathe naturally here, another couple of breaths. then on your next inhale, opening your eyes, stretch your legs out in front of you. Shake out your legs a little bit and circle the feet around. Okay. So if your pillows are on your mat, you're going to momentarily move them to one side. And we're going to lay down onto our mat. So go ahead and set the pillows to one side and then lay down. If you need to, you can grab your towel and place it under your head as a little pillow. So you can go ahead and lay back. And just make sure that the pillow isn't too high. So you don't want the head, out of line with your spine. So for me, I actually don't need it, so I'm just gonna set it aside. Once you get down there, hug your knees into your chest and go ahead and circle the knees around a few times in one direction. And then circle in the opposite direction. Okay. All right, and then coming to half Shavasana now, bring your feet to the mat, bring your feet wider than the hips, and drop your knees together. So with your knees together, relax your arms alongside your body. And begin to bring awareness now to your diaphragm. So the muscle that allows you to breathe. And notice now, as you inhale, how the diaphragm pulls down toward the feet. And on the exhale, the diaphragm moves up toward the head. With every inhale, the diaphragm moves down. And with every exhale, the diaphragm moves up. So without attempting to force or control the breath, see if you can give your diaphragm as much freedom as possible for it to move the way it needs to move. So allowing as much freedom as possible in the diaphragm. Just letting go of any restriction, any contraction around that area that is preventing complete freedom of movement in the diaphragm. In yoga, the throat and the vocal cords are also considered a diaphragm. So when the vocal cords come together, they create a parachute-like structure. And this throat diaphragm mimics the movement of the breathing diaphragm. So now on your inhale, notice how the breathing diaphragm and the throat, the vocal cords, move down toward the feet. And on the exhale, notice how both the breathing diaphragm and the throat diaphragm move up toward the head. And again, notice if there's any restriction to the movement of the throat diaphragm. Allow there to be complete freedom in the throat area, in the vocal cords. Just allowing the body to breathe however it needs to. Now on your next inhale, bringing your legs into a cobbler's position, bring your feet together, knees open into a diamond shape. Now this does not feel comfortable for your hips to have your legs in this position. Option here is to put one pillow underneath each thigh. So underneath each leg. So you can just kind of tuck the pillows into the sides of each leg. That will help to support the legs. And here, if you'd like, you can place the hands on your body. So maybe your left hand on your chest, right hand on the belly, but if you choose to do so, try not to lift your elbows up off the floor. Keep the elbows on the floor so that it's okay if the hands aren't exactly in the midline of your body. And again, relaxing your breathing diaphragm. Relaxing the throat diaphragm. And then noticing now your pelvic floor, so the muscles between the legs. The third and the last diaphragm is your pelvic floor. And the movement of the pelvic floor also mimics the movement of your breathing diaphragm and the throat diaphragm. On your inhale, allow all three diaphragms to move down toward the feet. And on the exhale, all three diaphragms return back to its original shape, moving up toward the head. With every inhale, the diaphragms move down. And with every exhale, the diaphragms move up. And again, noticing if there's any constriction or restriction in the area of the pelvic floor. And just allowing the pelvic floor complete freedom as you breathe. All three diaphragms moving together. On your next inhale, slowly bringing your knees back to center. And then hug your knees back into your chest. And then again, feel free to rock left to right a few times. If you like, you can also circle the knees in different directions. Good. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and stretch the arms above the head, stretch the legs down, give yourself a nice big stretch. Exhale, bending your knees, roll to one side, and come back up to seated position. Okay, so once you come back up to seated position, we're going to need our 3 pillows now. So you can go ahead and stack your 3 pillows down the center of the mat. Place it on the half of the mat that's facing me. So you can place it toward, the camera. And your blanket, you can have it within easy reach. So later, if we need it, we're gonna put it right at the top underneath the face, okay? So wherever you are, you're going to extend your legs off the side of the mat. So if the pillows are on your right, you can extend the legs to the left and scoot your hips all the way up toward the blankets and have your hips, up toward the pillows. Have your hips in line with the back edge of the pillow. Okay, so we don't want to be in front of the pillow like this. It's gonna not feel good in the spine. So hips come all the way back so they're in line with the back edge of the pillow. And then bend your knees so your feet face away from the pillows. Turn your belly button to face the pillows and lay your chest right down on top of it. So your chest is gonna face down, and then turn your head to face the same direction as your knees. Now, if it feels better for you, you can take your towel and place it under your head. You just want to make sure when you do this, your neck isn't tilting up like this. So if it does, then it's better if you just don't use the blanket, if you don't use the towel. If the hips feel tender here, you can use your towel to pad your hip. We'll stay here for another 3 minutes or so. Take 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, slowly press yourselves back up to seated position. Stretch your legs off the side of the mat one more time. And go ahead and shake out your legs and circle the feet around. Good. And now keeping your knees and feet hip width, bend your knees. Flex your feet up toward the shin bones. You're going to take a couple of forward folds. So inhale, stretch the arms forward and up. Exhale, lay the belly on the thighs and bring your hands to the floor. Inhale, slide the hands back, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale as you slide forward, laying the chest on the thighs. Couple more. Inhale, slide the hands back, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you slide forward. Continue. Inhale, sliding the hands back, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you slide forward. And then one more. Inhale as you slide back, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you slide forward. Inhale, coming back to center. Good. And again, feel free to shake out your legs, circle the feet. And you can either extend your legs to the opposite side, or if you need to, I'm going to actually move my pillow so that you can see me still. So you're going to extend your legs out off to the side, to the right of your pillows, or the opposite direction. Wherever you are, make sure your hips are in line with the back edge of the pillows, and then bend your knees so your feet face away from the pillows, and your knees can be staggered here. So turn your belly button to face the blankets, lay the chest directly on top of the pillows rather. And your head is going to face the side toward the direction of the knees. Arms can be relaxed alongside the pillows, and again, you can use that towel under the head if you need to. We'll be here about another 3 minutes or so. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Slowly pressing yourselves back up. Extend your legs out in front of you. Shake out your legs a little bit. Circle the feet around. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is legs up the wall. So you can move your pillows aside and pull your mat up against the wall. Now, if you don't have the wall, another option that you can do is if you're close to a sofa, you can use your sofa. So if you're near a sofa, you can see off the edge of the screen here, you scoot your bottom up and then bring your legs up and over the edge of the sofa like this. You can bring your towel and put it under your head if you need it. Second option is to go ahead and just scoot your mat up against the wall and then extend your legs up the wall. And again here, if you need it, you can grab your towel and put it under the head if it helps your head to feel less, your neck to feel less compressed. And wherever you are, just relax your arms alongside the body or place them on the body, whatever feels comfortable. here for another 3 minutes or so. Let's take 3 more breaths here. If you would like to spend the remainder of your resting pose in this position, you're welcome to stay here. If you prefer to lay flat on your mat, then go ahead and stretch the arms above the head. And then exhale, bend your knees. And then make your way, to the side and walk yourself away from the wall. You can just lay flat on your mat. A couple of options now when you're laying down on your mat. You can take your towel with you if you needed it. You can grab 1 or 2 of your pillows and put it under the legs in this position. So you can lay back and just kind of tuck the pillows under your knees. And just relax like this. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can just go ahead and take them out and lay completely flat on your mat. Okay, so whatever feels good for you, you can try maybe 1 pillow, maybe 2 pillows. And this is especially nice if you tend to have lower back tension or lower back pain. So putting them under the knees, just make sure your feet are still touching the floor here. Okay, so you can stick them under, bringing the feet on the floor. It's okay if they're kind of hanging off a little bit. And just relax right here. We'll take about a 4-minute Shavasana this evening. And let's take 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, stretch the arms above the head. Stretch your legs forward if you have space. And then exhale, bending your knees, roll to one side. And come back up to seated position. Good, and come to that comfortable position. You're sitting on your sitting bones, shoulders nice and relaxed. Noticing the ease in the breath. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bow the head. Thank you all for your beautiful practice. Namaste. All right, thank you for joining me. I just sent out the next week's class schedule and the Zoom links. So if you were on the email list, just check for that. This is the first time I sent out a newsletter using like MailChimp. So I'm hoping that it doesn't go into your spam. So if you don't get it, if you did sign up and you didn't get it, just check your spam. And if you still didn't get it, just send me a DM on Instagram. Okay, and if you haven't signed up yet, wish to get the links every week, then just go ahead and go on the link on my Instagram and then sign up. Okay. All right. Have a great week, guys. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow or next couple of days. Bye.
Bye.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. See you later.